Taxpayer dollars meant for homeless families and autistic children allegedly ended up funding Rolex watches, luxury cars, and sprawling real estate deals in what the Trump Justice Department is calling one of the most shocking Medicaid fraud cases in Minnesota history. I'm Edward Zoll, reporting for the Daily Beltway. Now check this out.
Today, we are announcing criminal charges against 15 defendants in Minnesota for fraud schemes that targeted over $90 million in taxpayer dollars.
Federal prosecutors announced charges against 15 defendants accused of stealing more than $90 million from taxpayer-funded Medicaid programs through fake diagnoses, fraudulent billing, and bogus care claims. Assistant Attorney General Colin McDonald said the fraud was so widespread that one housing assistance program exploded from a $2.5 million budget to more than $100 million before the state shut it down completely. Prosecutors say some defendants billed for services never provided, including care for dead patients, while funneling money into luxury purchases and shell companies. One suspect reportedly tried escaping FBI agents by jumping from a fourth-floor balcony. The DOJ says this is only the beginning of a broader crackdown into alleged fraud cases across Minnesota's welfare system.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel, and today we're going to be talking about this story out of Minnesota where 15 people got caught stealing $90 million from Medicaid. And guess what? One of them tried to get away by jumping out of the damn four-story building. Stupid! But either way, they got caught, and we're going to be talking about that. We got a video for you guys from Fox News giving you a little bit more information, so stick with us.
We'd appreciate if you'd subscribe, like, and share. It costs you nothing, and it's a huge boost to the channel.
The Department of Justice is taking major action against alleged fraudsters in Minnesota. They've just announced 15 people have been charged in Medicaid fraud schemes costing $90 million in taxpayer money. Some of these examples they list include suspects allegedly paying kickbacks to parents who brought their children to autism centers, were diagnosed with autism regardless of medical needs, and then billed a state program for services that were never actually provided. In another alleged scheme, a program designed to help the disabled was drained of its funds. A man who was supposed to receive around-the-clock care wasn't served and then died. That was the case for another program, the Housing Stabilization Services, which was allegedly drained by 8 fraudsters by nearly $16 million. So with that, let's bring in House Majority Whip and Minnesota Congressman Tom Emmer. So, Congressman, thank you for joining us this morning. I want to talk about how much bigger this problem is. But before we get to that, I think it's really important to focus on just what we know in this $90 million fraud scheme, the largest Medicaid fraud scheme ever uncovered in history. This is a really big deal for your constituents.
I don't know about you guys, but I think that record's going to stay that record for probably another couple months before they find something bigger in California.
Yeah, that's the truth too. All of this is nothing compared to what went on in California.
It is. It's not just a big deal, Charlie, for my constituents. It's a big deal for American taxpayers. Donald Trump has said that he's going to clean up the waste, fraud, and abuse, and he wasn't kidding. He's assigned Vice President Vance to lead this a crusade against the fraudsters. And unfortunately, the state of Minnesota happens to be the poster child of some of these abuses. You've already got the $250 million Feeding Our Future scandal, which was not Medicaid money. Now you've got $90 million in just this one piece, Charlie. This is money, by the way, that was supposed to go, as you pointed out, to autistic children who needed it, to the disabled who needed it, to the elderly who needed it. Instead, it went to 15 different fraudsters, and it's only $90 million. Remember, people have said in authority in Minnesota that the fraud under the Walz administration will take your breath away. It could be as high as $9 billion. This is just the tip of the iceberg, I'm afraid, Charlie.
Yeah, I think Congressman Emmer is exactly right. It is the tip of the iceberg, and we'll see much worse in California, potentially New York. Both of the left coasts, I'm sure, are ripe with fraud. But when you start hearing about people dying because there's no benefits for them to get, and then you've got these 15 people stealing millions of dollars, man, you have to treat that as harshly as you can. I would expect to see decades-long prison sentences here.
Well, I think what he meant by this tip of the iceberg, he's talking about Minnesota itself. He's not talking about the rest of the country. I think if you include the rest of the country, it might be in the trillions of money that's been stolen by these people. And I agree with you. When it comes to punishment for these people, it should be decades in prison, because the fact is they're affecting people's lives that deserve to get this because they qualify for it. And unfortunately, like they said in the video, and JD Vance said in the video we did yesterday, someone died because of it. And who else knows how many other people have died nationwide as they look into more and more of these stories that are happening in states. It's going to be absolutely insane, I think, when we find out the amount of fraud and the amount of, I think, in my opinion, politicians allowing this to happen on purpose in order to make sure they get reelected in certain states, especially these blue states. I think it's happening in red states too, but it's more on the local level, probably like the mayor and stuff like that, more than it has to do with the governor or even other people, because majority of the red states, you're not going to see as much compliance when it comes to allowing people to get away with this stuff. But we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. Also, guys, if you could, comment down below and let us know what you think. Hit that like button and share this out to everybody.
Thanks for being here.